At Sympli 4, we believe that pricing should be transparent. So let me start with an analogy about the importance of that transparency. My wife and I were seated at a fancy Chicago restaurant, given a menu, then asked, "Which credit card will you be using today?" When I opened the menu and saw no prices, I asked for a price list, only to be told, "We don't do that here. We track your charges and bill you at the end." Not knowing whether to expect a $300 or $3,000 bill, we did what many of you probably would have done. We left. Without transparency, there were no winners. We didn't get our dinner, and the restaurant lost a sale. But think about this. How different is that from a visit to your typical CPA? You're told, "We can't estimate what this is going to cost, but trust us. And by the way, payment is due upon completion." Our B2B software is first to market, designed to be used by progressive accounting firms to price their services. Our mission is to restore work balance to overstressed accountants caught up in a cycle of never-ending deadlines, working excessively long hours, and our goal is to bring time for them to have life purpose in their life. We're doing this by replacing traditional legacy time and billing systems with a brand new concept: transparent, value-based, predictive pricing. Lack of pricing clarity is just as stressful for accountants as it is for their clients, and value simply can't be measured by the time spent. There's a mass market that demands cheap fees, and they seek instant gratification. Lucky for them, there are plenty of large corporations meeting their needs in this market. But the Sympli 4 client is looking for fair pricing and accept delayed gratification in exchange for wealth building. In other words, Sympli 4 clients think outside the block. Take this example of value-based predictive pricing. My client owed $2 million in estate taxes, due in 30 days. Yet the appraisal on the property that they had planned to liquidate to satisfy that debt was appraised at only half that amount. They couldn't afford a realtor, and they had no buyer. In desperation, they called me. I worked the phones, and incredibly, against all odds, was able to find a buyer and negotiate a sale price of $2 million on a $1 million property in time to meet the needs of the tax deadline. Using our new methodology, we would have been able to measure and quantify the urgency of the situation, the impact that we had towards a successful outcome, and our level of success. In this case, my client saved $140,000 in realtor fees and avoided tens of thousands more in late payment penalties and interest. They did pay their attorney $10,000, but because this didn't take me very long and I billed by the hour, I charged my client only $600. I think that by any measure, this was a total billing failure, and it was my failure. But sometimes, out of the ashes of our failures are born some of our greatest innovations. In this case, my success fee would have been predictable and known upfront, and it would have been no less than $20,000. It is possible to predictively charge our clients the right price with a high level of accuracy and confidence. Our go-to-market plan is to work with progressive accounting firms that are micro in size. One, because it's the largest market segment. Two, is talking directly to the decision makers. And three, because it's easier for small firms to pivot into new directions. Our marketing channels are continuing education providers, member trade alliances, and societies of accountants. Our 2-year target is 250 customers with $1.5 million in revenue. We will quickly scale from there, and who knows where we might be in 10 years. But 25,000 customers, representing less than 3% of the North American market, would generate revenue in excess of $150 million. I'm more than just a CPA. This is my beautiful family, and they give me my purpose. Young professionals entering into the accounting world are not willing to give up their life purposes in exchange for working excessively long hours. Firms who fail to embrace new pricing methodologies with reasonable work schedules will find it impossible to attract and retain top talent. But Sympli 4 isn't just for accountants. It's also for a multitude of trades and professions, from attorneys to engineers in a global marketplace. Exciting things are happening at Sympli 4. We're moving fast forward at many levels. Visionaries with the resources to move markets are beginning to see our product as a disruptive force, a force that may forever change the way that professional service firms and trades price their services. We will be bootstrapping our first round of financing. However, we would love to talk to anyone interested in joining us on this journey. We will be recruiting talent and equity investors as we begin to scale. Thank you.